Yo, what's up? Oh, Aerosparkle, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. What is up, party people? How are we doing today? I just want... Oh, sis, what's up? I just watched a Johnny's West concert with my friend and it was a lot of fun. Oh, thank you so much, Aerosparkle. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So, yeah, I'm so excited to see what this, like, the final part of this episode is gonna give us, because this is gonna be, like, the final part of this episode. There is another episode after this. But this one is very, very special because it ends in an investigation. Usually it doesn't. Usually it ends in a trial. Like I said, I'm doing good. I just watched a concert with my friend. So, it was a lot of fun. Nice indeed. So yeah. What to even talk about? I'm like here considering if I should tell you about like my weird dreams lately, because they've been so weird. It's like I've been dreaming in a new way, like in a different way. I don't know what it is. It's the strangest sensation I've ever experienced. Do tell. Oh god. So like it started the other day when I was just, you know, just laying down on my stomach because that was what was comfortable at the time. And I had my hands kind of like in a kind of weird position, I guess. One was like by my hip and the other one was just like kind of straight down. But somehow I fell asleep, but I didn't actually fall asleep as much as like I just closed my eyes and like the dream just kind of like started forming around me. It was really strange. Maybe that's actually how I've always dreamt and I haven't been conscious about it until now. Maybe, I can't really tell. But anyways, while I was lying there, I was fully aware of like what was going on and everything. But like suddenly, like my hand started like pulsating in like this really strange way. It was as if someone was like rubbing my hands, but they weren't. There was no one with me, obviously. I was all alone. But like the fact that it felt so real because of this weird like pulsing, because probably of the position I had my hands in. And I was like, the fuck is this? And there's like, I don't even know how to like explain it. It's really weird. And I can't remember it having been like this up until like a few days ago. What? Yeah, that's it's really weird. It's really weird and I don't know what it is. Thank you, science nerd. Very fitting name. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Man. Those dreams are just something else. I'll tell you that. It's really weird. And there's also this like weird sensation I get. Oh, you're Johnny Jr. fan on Discord. Oh, cool. Thank you so much for following. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't want to call it like sleep paralysis. I don't think it's that at all. Because it's more like... It's more lucid dreaming, I think. But also not. It's like this weird fucking... I don't know what to call it. I've been like, huh, that's strange. Anyways, I've been rambling for long enough. Let's get into the game. Did it show up again? Oh well, it'd be like that, I guess. Okay, so last time we got like halfway through the investigation part. We're now back in the room where we found Gregson dead. So that's fun. Up until this point, we've talked to Kazuma, and we've talked to the prison warden, right? No, not the warden. What's a... we've talked to... Where is he? Barrick Hayden. The governor of Barclay Prison. That's it. You're glancing at your screen from the kitchen. Lucid dreaming is very common if you sleep during the day. Yes, but also no. I don't know. I don't know what to call it, honestly. And also, like, I've been, like, half lucid dreaming for, like, ages. It's really... Like, for me, it's just, like, about being aware that I'm dreaming. So, like, as soon as I'm aware of that, which I'm usually aware of pretty soon, then it's like, okay. But I don't, like, control a lot. I can control myself pretty well, but that's about it. Anything else, then I gotta concentrate, and then I gotta focus, because I'm like, I am the one in control here, and that's when I kind of, like, start waking up too. So it's like, I gotta balance the two, and it's really hard. Sleeping is a fucking job, I'll tell you. Alright. The police are still busily investigating in here, then. But Gina's nowhere to be seen. Where is she? Yes, it has been blissfully quiet, hasn't it? Perhaps she's out investigating on her own, practicing what her boss taught her. Well, I expect she'll be back before too long. Shall we wait? Actually... There's something different about this room since the last time we were here, isn't there? I guess the box? We could always use the time to investigate more thoroughly. Yeah. The box? We were here on Thursday, and the box wasn't here. This little trunk wasn't here before, was it? Oh, it appears to be made of metal. It must be very heavy. I wonder to whom it belongs. There are some initials on the outside. Look, TG. TG. Do we have anything that fits TG? Tobias Gregson. Let's ask one of the policemen if they know how it came to be here. Oi, what you think you're doing? I bet it's... yeah, it's Gina. Nice. That's my trunk, that is! Hands off! Gina! Where were you hiding? I don't know. You leave something unattended for a few seconds and every Tom, Dick and Harry's got his greedy eyes on it. Just a wild guess, Gina, but... What? Spit it out, Otto! Is it fair to say that you've only owned that trunk since this morning's trial? What? What are you trying to say? Come on, this trunk goes with me everywhere, always has. Where have you been last year? Trying not to incur your wrath, mainly. They did not say in court that the witness saw Gregson with that case, but that case was nowhere to be found. Did they? Maybe.
You should hear them talking at the yard now. They should be ashamed of themselves. They're saying that it was the boss who killed all them bludgers.
You mean the whole Reaper thing?
Yeah. Apparently, the boss was investigating stuff that no one else at the yard knew nothing about. Stuff to do with all them criminals what got off scot-free.
Yes, the ones prosecuted by Lord Van Zieks who used bribery and corruption to evade conviction.
Well then obviously, it was that blooming Reaper giving orders, wasn't it?
But why would people be suspecting Inspector Gregson of being involved in the killings?
Was a notebook hidden in his office.
Oh no, this doesn't sound good.
It had details about all the crimes that have been pegged as the Reaper's work.
What?
No! Did you see it, Gina? Did you see that notebook? They wouldn't flaming let me, because I'm just an apprentice apparently. But it was me who found it, and he was my boss. That's right. I was pretty miffed about it, so I sneaked a peek at what he said anyway.
Oh, that's our Gina. Alright, what did it say? So, you managed to see what was written in Gregson's secret notebook anyway, did you?
Why I see it is my right to read what he wrote. What had he written, Gina? Dates, times, places, names, and whole long list of them. All details about the blood is supposed to have been done in by the Reaper. But there could be an explanation for that. Perhaps it was a record of the Inspector's investigations into the Reaper's activities. Exactly, that's what I said. That's the first thing you'd think, right? As it happens, it was full of names I recognized anyway.
Well, the Reaper's targets were almost exclusively known leaders of London's criminal underworld.
Well, yeah, but there was one name right at the end that was a bit odd.
At the end of the list, you mean?
I'm pretty sure the date against it was the 31st of October. Oh, the day before the inspector was found dead.
So, what was the odd name?
One like a name I've ever seen before. It was something like, it's no good. I can't remember it. I don't think it was an English name, put it that way.
No, not Natsume.
Oh dear, what a pity. It was something else too. I don't know if it matters, but the same name kept coming up over and over. Shin, it was. Don't suppose it means anything, but...
Oh boy. Did you say... Shin? What? It does mean something? Lord Van Zieks knew the name too. He mentioned her as well. No, but it wasn't the name she recognized. So I don't think it's Natsume either. I don't know. Well, she wouldn't recognize Kazuma to be fair, but... I feel like it would be a name that's kind of difficult for her to pronounce. Like how she calls Naruhodo Ado, right? The woman who actually did the deeds. And now he found out her name appeared in Gregson's secret notebook. Okay. We haven't seen you for a little while, have we, Gina?
Well, of course not. I've been busy, ain't I? Investigating and that. The lads at the yard are trying to trace the boss's movements the day before it happened.
The day before... That would be the undercover investigation into the Red-Headed League, then.
Only the boss didn't go, did he? You found someone called what was pretending to be him, didn't you, Otto?
Yes, it was Mr. Vigil who actually went to the park on Lime Street that day, posing as Gregson.
Well, anyway, you ain't the only one turning stuff up. I've got my own ways of getting results.
Toby!
When me and me partner here get together, there's nothing we can't track down. Oh, little Toby! He's such a faithful friend.
So, have you tracked anything down then?
What you think, eh? Of course we have. Can't tell you though, police business, innit?
Ugh.
Anyway, the point is, if you lot ever need any help, you know who to turn to, right? Me and the L out here.
Right, because he looks oh so hellish, honest. The hellhound. Gina, about your hellhound there.
Chief Inspector Toby, you mean? He's the pride of the force, he is. In Japanese, police dog means something quite different and not altogether nice to those involved in crime. But here in Britain, it's a wonderful compliment, it seems. For a canine, at least.
Cute puppy, yes, very cute puppy. It should be, after all, in the great exhibition case the other day. It was Toby here who managed to locate Drebber's workshop.
Maybe it's time for another demonstration of what this super dog can do, right?
Do we have something the Chief Inspector could catch the scent of? Wonder. No, not the papers. Something is really telling me it's the hairpiece, but why would it be the hairpiece? I mean, I keep saying that it doesn't look like it belonged to him, so who did it belong to then?
Take that!
Well, Chief Inspector Toby, if you wouldn't mind having a sniff of this. It worked. He might be a little too keen, don't you think? The Chief Inspector made short work of Gina there. But he's gone to.
Oh my, that trunk clearly has still has a very strong scent of Inspector Gregson.
In other words, it must have belonged to him.
Oh, all right, it's a fair cop, I suppose.
And you nearly got away with it too.
You always talk so proudly of Chief Inspector Toby's nose and what it can achieve. Did it not cross your mind that he might identify something that was right next to us?
Yeah, that was a bit of a bloomer, wasn't it? That's enough now then, Gina. I think it's time you told us the truth about that trunk.
It wasn't like that. It just won.
What are you talking about?
I know what's going through that head of yours, but that ain't what happened.
Alright then, what did happen?
Well, like I said before, we were trying to trace the boss's movements. So I let Toby have a whiff of the boss's overcoat. And as soon as I done that, he went off like a shot. Straight to that sandwich.
To a sandwich? Not to a bag of chips? Oh, you mean Beppo?
Mr. Naruhodo, I believe Gina means the witness.
Oh, I forgot about that sandwich.
Yeah, he had it hidden between them wooden boards of his, the boss's trunk.
Alright. You mean when they heard the sound like a gunshot and all piled in here?
Exactly! He nabbed it from the scene!
Goodness!
Me and the Chief Inspector gave that sandwich a good grilling. And you know what he said?
But it might fetch a good price and the chap wouldn't be needing it anymore, so... sir, that's not how things work. You're voicing his magical thank you. That's what I did, okay.
Would you Adam and Eve the cheek of it, eh? Stealing the dead boss's stuff to flog?
So, Miss Venus wasn't the only one to meddle with the scene of the crime then. He just skips his line for some reason. He just said that he stole it. Cool.
How could they? So anyway, that's how it happened. And it's a pretty decent trunk, so I figured I might as well make use of it. Is there something wrong with that, eh? Well,
maybe you and Mr. Sandwich should try to find the answer to that question together.
I think perhaps that trunk should be turned over to the police, don't you?
What are you on about? I am the police! Gina, if you wouldn't mind, could we maybe examine it? Yeah, alright then. Do what you want with it.
Thank you. We shall make a detailed record of our examination of the evidence.
Yeah, sure. But let me just take a look at this. Ooh. A slash. You've seen this huge gash across the side of the trunk here. It's gone right through the leather and into the metal behind.
Gosh, for a metal chest like this to have been so badly damaged. Whatever made the gash must have struck the side of the trunk with considerable force.
I wonder how it happened. Me too, buddy. Me too. Ooh. Look at this dark stain here. Do you think...
Yes, I'm afraid so. I think it's blood.
Now that's clearly just jam. It's fine. Ugh, I knew you were going to say that. But that presumably means...
that this was present at the scene when Inspector Gregson was killed. It's the most logical conclusion, yes.
To think Gina's been carrying this around with her. We didn't know any better. I suppose it does look like a grease stain from all the fish and chips. Let's have a look inside. Thank God it's unlocked. Look, there's something inside.
Oh, let's see. It appears to be a passport authorizing him to travel overseas.
Yeah, he was going to France. Was Inspector Gregson about to go on a trip abroad then? Sir, you knew about this. You knew he was going to France. What do you mean? Was he about to go on a trip abroad?
Perhaps the date of departure might tell us something. That was... Oh!
What is it?
It was for travel on the 31st of October. Just one day before the incident.
What? Really? But he was gonna take Gina with him. Interesting. Gregson went to France the day before his body was discovered. Just a day trip to France? Could you do that back then? That's everything that's interesting? Pour it out. Just... Huh, interesting. Name Tobias Gregson, passport number ACD0522. Date of departure within 1 week from 31st of October. Destination port of Dunkirk, France. Purpose of travel, police business. Notes permission for the applicant and 1 additional person to travel. So he didn't go. He was gonna go, and he was gonna bring Gina with him. What's the matter with Toby? Why is he so angry towards me all of a sudden?
Mr. Naruhodo, be careful! It must be the trunk!
Now that's a killer dog if I've ever seen one. Purpose of travel, police business sounds a lot like mind your own business, true. Toby, oi, what are you doing? You're gonna lick his face off!
Mr. Naruhodo! Mr. Naruhodo! Gina, quickly! Hail a carriage!
What?
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo! Are you alright?
Was he knocked out? I guess so. Miss Susato.
Ah, conscious again at last. A blessed relief, my dear fellow. After all, to drop dead after a moderate licking by a small terrier, most unseemly. What is or isn't seemly is irrelevant here, Mr. Sholmes. So glad there's no lasting damage. How are you feeling? I'm fine, thank you. Did you bring me back here? Ow, what's this on my head? A bandage? Sadly, we had no ice, so that's a compress of sugar water. Sugar water? Don't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. It's a first aid treatment that my father taught me. Oh, thank you.
Imagine if he got amnesia. That's why this is split into 2 episodes.
So, let us take tea when you're feeling up to it. But of course, no sugar in the patient's cup.
Ugh. The bump on my head is throbbing sweetly enough, don't worry.
Whenever you feel ready, then.
I guess I gotta talk to Sholmes. Thank you for your concern, Mr. Sholmes.
My dear fellow, think nothing of it. I must say I was quite startled when I heard that you'd been attacked by a dog. For a moment, I feared that infamous murderer of so many had come back from the dead.
The professor. You mean the professor?
Fortunately, I see your prized throat is unscathed. That stiff turned-up color of yours obviously afforded some welcome protection.
Like that close to death? All I really remember is the dog licking my face over and over and over again.
Well, if you wish to avoid such troubles in the future, a little mustard spread on the cheeks should do the trick. I should think that would balance the sweetness of your bandage rather splendidly.
Thanks, I think?
You're alright, Mr. Naruhodo. It's rather unusual to find ourselves here in the middle of our investigations.
It's just occurred to me that I might have forgotten something when we left this morning.
Please don't worry. As long as you continue to investigate thoroughly, you won't go far wrong.
Oh, yes, of course. I must get back to work as soon as possible. Forgot something? Well, I guess I'll just have to look around here then. Doruma? The Doruma doll is still winking at me. Look, I wonder when he'll finally get his other eye filled in.
I wonder.
Oh, you should know, Susato-san. I entrusted the task to you.
The truth is, I have already decided when that will be.
What? Really? When?
That's my little secret.
You see, I've been keeping my desk beautifully covered in papers as always.
You really must tidy it all up, Mr. Naruhodo. No more excuses.
But Miss Susato, the way I see it, all these papers building up on my desk like this are a reminder of my wonderfully diverse daily life. I like to leave them as they are so I never forget how lucky I am to have such varied experiences.
In that case, you should definitely have a thorough tidy. Then you'll be able to see your papers building up all over again and feel that joy renewed.
Still can't beat her in an argument, even though I'm the lawyer here.
The steam is rising gently from the kettle as always.
Yes, it doesn't feel right somehow, unless it is. But the steam has an unusual scent today.
Perhaps the sweet potatoes that I brought back from Japan with me are ready. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, I heard that, you know.
It's tears of joy, Mrs. Sato, from my mouth. So he doesn't like sweet potatoes? Whenever you serve me tea, it always takes me back to Japan.
I know you're not particularly fond of the bitter taste, are you? So I do always try to pick out less bitter matcha for you. But
does often serve up an unusually mellow blend, it's true. But the anticipation of the taste in my mouth makes me bitterly worried anyway. Same.
It is very difficult for you, isn't it?
I had matcha once, and to describe the taste, it was just as if you went outside onto your fucking lawn and ate the grass. That's what it tasted like.
My desk is just as it was before I left.
Sumi ink and a calligraphy brush, even though we're in England now. It strikes me as typically you, Mrs. Soto, and typically not you at the same time.
Well, I do enjoy all the wonderful new things to come out of the West in the Cultural Revolution, of course. But I'm not ready to give up my brush just yet.
And anyway, Chisato-san can write more neatly with a brush than most people can with a pen.
Practice makes perfect, as they say.
They sure do say that. I don't think there's anything here. There has to be something here.
Her mit dem Schwarzbiergebot, brodelt wie ein Feuerberg, den Schlund es mir verbrannt, ach Hopfen deine Wut.
Why is there a German song? What on earth is going on in here? Am I having a bad dream?
Ah, no. It's an old German folk song. Rather a fine rendition, I think.
That's the least of my concerns.
Iris.
Iris? What's the matter?
Who's that sprawling, that relaxed gentleman over there?
Iris? Is she even listening?
Excuse me, sir. I do apologize for troubling you whilst you're singing so merrily, but would you be kind enough to explain the situation?
Well, that worked.
A crooning gentleman and an amused young girl. A rather tantalizing juxtaposition. And one that appears to have incited the gods of deduction within me to find their voices too.
Mr. Sholmes, do you mean?
The strains of reasoning within me are playing now as a delightful duet. One melody sings of a reunion full of nostalgia, whilst the other is a morose theme about the great secret you're trying so desperately to conceal, Iris.
She's turned as white as a sheet.
So as usual, you've instantly seen to the very heart of the matter. And by the time my own brief performance is over, I feel sure this gentleman's song will reach its finale. So then, to a music land where all is sweetness and delicacy and harmony. Pray, do enjoy Herlock Sholmes' latest logic and reasoning spectacular!
Oh.
Firstly, we consider the gentleman's nationality. Clearly, he is a German with no grasp of the English language. As evidenced by the Germanic song he sings and his apparent inability to understand when asked to desist.
Yes, that's exactly how this works.
So, why is the man here at all, and in such apparently high spirits? The answer, of course, Iris, is clearly known to you. Indeed, we need only follow the gaze of those bright, young eyes to unravel that particular part of this mystery.
Yeah, I think it's Mikotoba.
The reason for the man's mildly irritating warbling is revealed by the herbal tea. You obviously offered our German guest a cup of your latest herbal blend. The tea's delectable flavor has made the man's spirit soar, and resulted in this joyful ditty tumbling incessantly from his lips. I eagerly await sampling the flavor myself, that I may join the fellow in this state of elation. Now, to the next question. Who exactly is this gentleman availing himself so thoroughly of the settee? As it happens, a number of years ago now, a certain gentleman of German origin engaged my services in solving a particularly delicate case. He required the retrieval of letters once sent to an acquaintance that might have proved problematic. In order to conceal his noble identity, he also arrived at my office in a mask. The gentleman's name was Wilhelm Gottfried Sigismund von Ormstein. No way! The King of Germany. If my memory serves, the mask worn by this gentleman is identical. Yes, there can be no question. That mask belongs to the King of Germany. It would appear that His Majesty remembers the fine service I afforded him, and has decided to show his face again, mask and all, in order to express his gratitude. Thank you so much for dropping by.
Yeah, that is Cosmo's mask.
A well-mannered monarch indeed. Wouldn't you agree, my dear fellow? So, the identity of this masked visitor is in fact my former client, the King of Germany. Indeed, his son is currently in London as well, enjoying the wonders of the Great Exhibition.
That was a fucking leap.
Which leaves us with one remaining imponderable. Yes, you, young Iris. But your apparently inexplicable silence is unable to hide the truth. Yes, the reason for your muteness is concealed inside that knapsack. A £5 note, I believe. I must say, as your compatriot, I am deeply saddened. It would appear that you allowed yourself to be bribed into silence by His Royal Highness, earning yourself some spending money in exchange for keeping quiet about the King's secret. And now, the final piece of the puzzle. What is this secret you strive to hide with your silence, Iris? Ah, yes. We need only follow that brief, involuntary twitch of your eyes to find the answer. You were attempting to abscond with that coffee cup. My favorite coffee cup, in fact. Or should I say, the handle of my favorite coffee cup. It appears that his high-spirited highness broke it in the midst of his hijinks. Which leads us to the sad truth. My favorite coffee cup has been broken by the King of Germany and Iris. You tried to conceal it from me. I shall have a bill sent via governmental channels to the German royal family for its replacement.
I think there are better ways to hide a coffee cup than by just being silent.
This concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this painful puzzle.
I'm sure it does. Alright.
With your silence as well, the fellow's jovial wobbling rather rings in the ears, does it not? Mr. Sholmes, I must say something does rather trouble me.
Pray, Mr. Sato, do tell.
His Royal Highness doesn't appear to have moved a muscle since we arrived.
Ah. And you haven't said a word either, Iris. Mr. Sholmes says it all right. You might as well own up to it now. Well, he doesn't, obviously.
Your reasoning isn't entirely without substance, I must admit.
And one other thing, Mr. Sholmes.
Yet another grievance, Mr. Naruhodo? Surely not.
Well, I actually read the story of that case recently, the one you were just describing. And according to that at least, it wasn't the king of Germany, it was the king of Bohemia.
Goodness. Was it? Yes, that's quite true. Master Gotz, the prince, testified to that in court. In his words, I have come to see the great exhibition all the way from my home in Bohemia. I would ask you to keep that minor error to yourselves. It could easily become quite a scandal. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that it's our turn now to make some corrections to a number of minor errors that may have slipped in. Even Mr. Shums is willing to admit he might be slightly wide of the mark this time. Although it's clear that Iris is definitely hiding something. We need to find out the truth behind this mysterious scene. But one truth is incontrovertible. My favorite coffee cup is no more. So, shall we embark again? On a joint presentation of Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Yeah, sure. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Okay, this is the same. Consider the gentleman's nationality. He's German. As evidenced by the Germanic song he sings and his apparent inability to understand when asked. So why is the man here at all? The answer, of course, Iris, is clearly known to you. Alright, indeed. We need only follow the gaze of those bright young eyes to unravel that particular part of this mystery. The reason for the man's mildly irritating warbling is revealed by the herbal tea. It's not the herbal tea. So what, it's some mix of herbs that give you the urge to sing? Goodness, I should like to try some.
I'd like to hear your singing, but this man... Just how long does he intend to keep up with that tune, do you suppose?
As I said, he's been stock still the entire time. And if you look closely, his lips aren't moving either.
Ah!
So I'm not sure what's actually responsible for the spirited singing. But I suspect the answer lies at the end of Iris's case.
Gee, I wonder, could it be the gramophone? Just a guess. Just a guess. I don't know what's making me like think it's the gramophone, but like something just like tells me it's that, you know? Yeah, gramophone. Wait, this
is a gramophone, still rarely seen in our own country. The sound certainly appears to be coming from the horn.
The machine's singing! That can't be right!
Science and technology are changing the world rapidly, Mr. Naruhodo. What's right is changing too.
Ugh, it's too much for my brain.
Well, at least we found our answer.
Take that!
Indeed. The reason for the man's mildly irritating warbling is revealed by the gramophone. Indeed, but no well-bred gentleman would break into an obscure folk song when making a social call. In other words, well, I mean... No well-bred gentleman, I mean... Okay, maybe not. I was about to say a drunk German. If only there was something in this house that makes sound.
In other words, this gentleman isn't singing at all. In fact, it would appear that the fellow is unconscious.
Music seems to have stopped now.
I ask you, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes?
Why would I have purchased a recording of that gibberish?
How should I know?
Well, never mind. On with the deduction. Who exactly is this gentleman availing himself so thoroughly of the settee?
Alright. It's not the fucking King of Bohemia or Germany or whatever the fuck you wanted to call him. It's not him. I wish you could skip this. It's just the same as the other time. He arrived in the mask, the same mask that Kazuma wore. Wait, no, that's not right. Mask belongs to the King of Germany. There we go. But we've already established that it was actually the King of Bohemia.
It seems Mr. Sholmes intends to persist with his Germany theory for some reason.
Come to think of it, the young prince was wearing a mask as well, wasn't he?
Master Gotts, the boy whom you had in tears.
Don't remind me. I am very rich. Or anyone else.
Do you suppose all members of the aristocracy of mainland Europe wears masks?
I'm sure they do. Well, probably anyway. The point is that that mask doesn't belong to any king.
No, that's right, as we all well know. Because we can identify the true owner of this mask.
Where is he? There he is.
Take that!
Kazuma. Yes, there can be no question that mask belongs to Kazuma Asogi. In other words, my memory is sublimely unreliable. Only you could try to make that sound positive. Kazuma's mask has been languishing on this metal chest for several days, though that doesn't explain why the gentleman is wearing it now. But it is now a simpler matter to determine our guest's true identity. After all, the gentleman is unconscious. We need only excuse ourselves in advance, gently lift the mask and peer beneath it. I don't believe it. You really had to go through like this entire fucking thing just to lift the mask? Father! I'm afraid, Mr. Sato. You must be mistaken.
No, I think not, Mr. Sholmes.
Then it would appear our logic and reasoning has once again revealed the truth. This mysterious visitor
is my unconscious father, Yujin Mikotoba.
Logic and reasoning? Or just looking and saying? Oh yeah, Iris went... That's right, Iris ran off. To find the, God. The autopsy report on Clint, didn't she? Clint van Zieks. Alright. It's not the coffee cup. The reason for your muteness is concealed inside that knapsack. Not that. Well, that's a £5 note poking out from Iris's knapsack, is it?
Oh dear, I can't be sure. Most money that we encounter is in coin form.
I know, I'm not even sure if we've seen any banknotes here in Britain at all, have we?
But anyway, Father would never have paid money for Iris's silence.
He certainly seems like the silent type himself, though, judging by his present state. Was that necessary? There must be some other reason for Iris's silence, I suppose.
Perhaps what Iris is trying so hard not to give away with her eyes is something entirely different. This metal chest, it contains important documents, doesn't it?
Yes, details of all the cases Mr. Sholmes has worked on over the years. Written up by Iris's father, if I'm remembering correctly. Iris insists that the chest is kept locked at all times. She's never once shown me inside.
Well, its contents are invaluable to her, I suppose. And entirely irreplaceable. But look at it now. The catch is unlocked for once.
So it is. It's hard to ignore.
sorry. I've never seen that chest unlocked before, in all the time we've been staying here at Breaker Street.
Take that!
Yes, the reason for your muteness is concealed inside that metal chest.
An excellent observation, but upon closer inspection, there is something different about the chest's appearance. It is kept locked at all times, yet now, the catch is open. Evidently, this has something to do with your refusal to speak, Iris. But it's a simple enough matter to incite you to speak, I'm sure.
Hold on, let me just get some water.
I merely need to open this chest. Here we go. Hurley, don't!
Ah. It makes sense now! Mr. Scholes! He's dead. I'm screenshotting this. Iconic.
Never! Oh, Hurley, I told you not to open it.
Ah, so you found your voice now, Iris. In other words, what just happened clearly reveals the truth here. Yes, the real reason for your silence until now is...
This is somewhat different to the usual dance of deduction you perform with Mr. Sholmes, isn't it?
Well, he's left me alone in the ballroom floor, so I'm going to have to dance this next part solo. And anyway, I need to get to the bottom of this for my own peace of mind. Now then, Iris isn't usually the silent type, so...
I mean, you don't actually know the answer yet, despite that knowing point of the finger before.
Mr. Soto, sometimes a man needs to point his finger first and think later.
Oh, well, if you say so. I think we'd better examine Iris more closely and try to rescue the situation then.
Look at the key. It's a key she's holding, look. I'm sure that wasn't in her hands before, was it?
No, you're quite right. It's appeared as if by magic.
That's strange. A big old iron key. Where did it materialize from?
Take that!
The reason for your silence now is key. The real reason for your silence until now is that key behind your back. When Mr. Sholmes was thrown into the air before. Just before you called out to try and stop him, you slipped something out of your mouth. That something is the key now in your hands. No doubt the key to the closet.
You're so clever, Bruno.
So now it becomes clear. Thanks to Mr. Sholmes' graphic demonstration, we can well imagine what happened here.
But
Professor Mikotobo also opened that metal chest only to be punched into the air. And land sprawled on the settee.
wait, that doesn't explain all the facts. What about the stylish scarf and the cup of tea, and above all, why would he be wearing Kazuma-sama's mask?
Well, for those curious details, I can think of only one explanation. Clearly, an unbelievable miracle took place in this room. Isn't that right, Iris? Consider how the room was arranged before this whole painful experience took place. When Professor Mikotobo opened the chest, completely unaware of what awaited him inside. The mask was flung into the air just as he was, only to land neatly on his face when it fell back down. And the teacup's journey through the air ended when it caught on the unconscious professor's finger. Sure it did.
You mean mean to say that the stylish scarf
is actually just a tablecloth. This is the Great Detective's office, after all, a place of miraculous deductions. Oh, I love that! Would you expect anything less?
Yes, you're right. It happened exactly as you said. Brilliant, Bruno.
Thus concludes Runosuke Naruhodo's great deduction of this punchy puzzle.
So then, why don't I make a fresh pot of tea for us all?
Objection!
An admirable performance, Mr. Naruhodo. But in the final act of the show there, you rather missed everything of importance. Mr. Sholmes! If you would cast your mind back to my earlier deduction. Iris, clearly you're hiding a great secret. She is? The look on her face. Mr. Sholmes must be right. Whatever that great secret is, the cat isn't out of the bag yet. So I put it to you again. You were attempting to abscond with that coffee cup. Really is a shame about Mr. Sholmes' cup. It must have been smashed when Professor Mikotoba opened the chest. But dear, so many things seem to have been broken here. What I don't understand is, why would you open something when there's still something on the quote-unquote table? Like on the lid, why would you open something? Wouldn't you first remove it and then open it? And if he opened it, how did it get launched up? Because whatever was on top of the lid was not hit by the fucking boxing glove or whatever. But now that the deduction has taken a different direction, Iris doesn't seem to be trying to hide the broken cup anymore.
In other words, her great secret is something else.
Let's put our observational skills to work here one final time then. Ah, look! There! There seem to be more papers there. Is Iris trying to hide them underneath the tray?
The insignia! It's Naruhodo! It's an official Scotland Yard document.
What? But why would Iris have...
We must ask her.
An official Scotland Yard document?
Take that!
You were attempting to abscond with that case file. Oh, maybe it's the autopsy report. Iris, as you know very well, nothing escapes the attention of a great detective. Oh no is right. We visited Scotland Yard's autopsy laboratory earlier today. And Dr. Gorey informed us that the autopsy report for Clint van Zieks had gone missing. Clint van Zieks. Yes, I do seem to recall. That some years ago, I asked to see the report in question. You were with me, weren't you, Iris? Wait. How many years ago? She's 10. I swear, the fucking biggest plot twist of this game is gonna be like, no, actually, she's in her 20s. She just looks tiny. You mean it was you, Iris? So those papers you have there are... Plot twist, Iris is the Reaper?
Sorry.
Forgive me! Thank you.
In truth, I would like to have thought that I could have predicted the booby-trapped chest. But it caught me completely off guard. It was very nearly the late consulting detective, Sherlock Holmes. Sorry, Hurley.
So, you mean this autopsy report really is...
Yes, I took it from the lab, even though I knew it was very important. Is there something in it that troubled you, Iris? Not exactly something that troubles me. Something I'd been looking for. When I saw this report, when I saw the writing in it, I knew it was Daddy's.
The writing? Your father's writing? What do you really mean? Is no one concerned for Mikotoba? Nah, he's just asleep. It's fine. Them, probably. Iris? It must be something that's hard for her to talk about. Forgive me for interrupting, my dear fellows. Mr. Sholmes, what is it? I feel as though the poor unconscious gentleman on the settee has been somewhat forgotten. Father! Perhaps we should find our guests somewhere more peaceful to rest. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Would you be so kind as to lend him your bed? We must do our very best to make him comfortable, I feel. Oh, yes, of course. I'll help you carry him up. So will I. No, I can manage alone, thank you. You have tea to enjoy. We wouldn't want Iris's brew to stew. Just there's no better way to make the professor comfortable than dragging him upstairs like a trunk. I wonder, perhaps that was deliberate. Maybe Mr. Sholmes is making himself scarce to give Iris a chance to talk more freely. We must use this opportunity to talk with Iris. And find out what's going on. Would you like to tell us about it, Iris? About your father?
Sure, I told you before, didn't I? That Daddy used to be Hurley's partner.
Yes, and that notes about all of the cases they solved together are kept inside that metal chest.
That's right. Hurley told me, you see. He said that Daddy's somewhere far away now, so we can't meet.
That's one way of describing it.
Then, when I secretly unlocked the chest and read through the papers inside, I started to build up a picture in my head of what Daddy must be like.
Well, that's only natural.
You're just like any other girl your age. I read that Daddy was a professor of medical science, so I studied and took my degree too.
You're 10! Well, that's only natural, I suppose.
In that respect, you're not quite like any other girl of your age, though. But there was one thing that I could never find out. Daddy's name.
Ah.
His name wasn't anywhere on the notes that he'd made about his work with Hurley. Then one day...
That's what happened, is it? When you saw this autopsy report, you finally managed to work it out. Is that right?
Yes!
So it was the handwriting in the report that caught her eye.
When I saw the writing on that report, I could hardly believe it. I know that handwriting, I thought to myself.
Because it was the same as the writing you'd seen on your father's case notes.
Exactly. I was desperate to compare the two properly. I needed to see them side by side. I asked the doctor in the laboratory, but I was told I couldn't take the report away. And even worse, I was told that was the first and last time we'd be allowed to even look in there.
So you decided to steal it. But then we know 100% that it's the same John Wilson. Do we though?
When I compare the autopsy report with the case notes I had here, there was no doubt. The handwriting was exactly the same. It was Daddy's. And the signature of the coroner at the bottom of the autopsy report.
Dr. John H. Wilson.
So that's how I finally found out. I learned Daddy's name at last.
Oh yeah, you're right. They were there at the autopsy. I see.
Ever since then, I've called myself Iris Wilson. And that's also when I had the brilliant idea of writing stories all about Daddy's exciting times with Hurley. I decided there and then that I'd write the adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, Iris! I had no idea the stories had quite such a deep personal significance for you. I can see why the autopsy report was so important to her now. And why she was prepared to break the law to get her hands on it. I must apologize, Iris. This is really all my fault.
Hurley?
I made a promise, you see, that until the time was right, I'd keep the details about your father a secret.
No, I've been very naughty. I'll take the autopsy report back to Dr. Gorey and apologize, I promise.
Yes, we'll go together, I think.
Then, let me look after it for you until we get there.
Yes, I want to read. 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 I want to read it. Let me read it. Okay, Clint Van Zieks, male, age 33, nationality British, time of death 31st of May, between 9 p.m. and midnight. Observations: death from a single stab wound to the heart. Other superficial external wounds indicative of a duel. Additional notes: recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers on the right hand, but no document and corresponding ink was found. Scarlet ink. Okay. Autopsy findings. Vital evidence recovered from the victim's stomach during autopsy. Credit to Inspector Gregson for petitioning so doggedly for the autopsy procedure. No internal trauma noted anywhere in the body. Vital evidence. What vital evidence?
I must go and water my herbs, I think. I'll see you all later.
But the professor killed with a giant hound? I doubt the hound knew how to duel. I don't know. Poor Iris. She must be feeling awful. Nah, it's fine. She'll be feeling even worse when she knows that he's dead. I know Mr. Sholmes is here for her, but still. What are you screaming for? What? How? What's the meaning of this, Mr. Sholmes? Mr. Sholmes? No, dear me. So, you've noticed, I see. But that would mean... What on earth's the matter, Mrs. Soto? You've turned as white as a sheet.
It's this autopsy report, Mr. Naruhodo. The one from 10 years ago. The writing isn't Dr. Wilson at all.
I'm looking for anything with a fucking signature on it. How does she know? Yeah, how does she know indeed? No, that's just the inspector. Wait. No, I can't see anything here either. Cool. Huh? What do you mean? How could you possibly know that?
Because I know this writing very well. This writing is my father's.
What? 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 No, hold on! No, hold! What? What? Hold. So, they're sisters? Huh? No, hold on. Who? Was Mikotoba Sholmes' assistant? Is he her dad? Yeah, I'm like, huh? Indeed, it's true. And now you know, my dear fellows. No, I don't know anything. What on earth does all this mean, Mr. Sholmes? Because the idea that's slowly forming in my mind is just too extraordinary to believe. Please, you have to explain. So, this autopsy report was actually penned by Professor Mikotoba then? But that makes no sense. It's not possible, surely. Genshin Impact? Who is the mother Genshin Impact? Not possible, my dear fellow. Sorry. Not possible. My dear fellow, pray, take a deep breath and think again.
Yes, you're right. In some ways, it actually makes a great deal of sense.
It does?
10 years ago is when Father returned to Japan after his extended study tour in Britain.
And prior to his return, where was Dr. Mikotoba engaged? Oh, of course. He was an assistant in Dr. Wilson's laboratory, learning about forensic science. And as an assistant, he would have aided with the dissection work, making detailed notes, which would be assembled into the full autopsy report. Once the work was complete, the head coroner would check the contents and put his signature on the document.
In other words, the only writing of Dr. Wilson's in the report would be his signature at the end.
Ah, okay, I see. So it's not the signature thing. I see. So Iris got the wrong end of the stick, you mean? She saw that and assumed the whole report had been written by Dr. John H. Wilson.
Which is very understandable, of course.
What a complicated situation. Wait, hold on. I have questions. How would you know this writing very well? Like, my question is, how would you know? Unless he, like, writes fucking English papers at home? Did she compare the signature or the whole text? She assumed the signature belonged with the whole text. But I'm still kind of confused how Susato would know that the writing is her father's, when I'm pretty sure he would write in Japanese back home. But that's beside the point. Thinking about it, most of what we know about you, Mr. Sholmes, comes from the published stories of your exploits.
Yes, the adventures of Herlock Sholmes written by Iris.
And we really have no way of knowing what's fact and what's fiction. Most troubling for you, my dear fellow, I'm sure. Mikotoba did a lot of foreign work for the government, sure, but still. So, what about the supposed partner of yours? Did he really exist or not?
Ah, you have come straight to the point, I see. And please come straight to the answer.
Plus, all the labels in the lab were in German, right? Ah, okay, yeah, you're right.
I believe Iris explained it in one of her installments. He was a trusted comrade, and the only person I could truly have called a friend. And did this partner of yours truly make a record of all your cases? Are his notes really stored inside that metal chest? Absolutely, my dear madam. Absolutely.
So, where's your partner now?
We rarely meet. You see, he lives on the other side of the world.
But if this autopsy report and the records of all your old cases were penned by the same hand, and if the autopsy report was written, though not signed, by your famous partner, there would only be one logical conclusion.
Pray, impress me.
Your partner would have to be Yujin Mikotoba. In other words, Susatos' father.
On my word, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes?
You are coming along wonderfully. You have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasped the art of deduction.
You mean to say...
Allow me to introduce you. To my great friend and partner, Mikotoba.
Professor Mikotoba! Suddenly all the fan art I've seen makes sense. I was like, that's strange, but I didn't really think anything of it. But who is Iris' dad? It's the same person, isn't it?
Does this mean that you're the real Dr. Wilson?
No, my dear. I'm still my old self, Yujin Mikotoba, your father.
Oh, of course.
This is obviously too much for Susato-san to take in. And don't blame her. I must say, though, how my old friend has attained worldwide celebrity. As a great mystery solver is the greatest mystery of all.
I still remember the first time we met. Pray remind me, when was it again, Mikotoba?
16 years ago, Sholmes.
Ah, yes, right. 16 years ago.
I just arrived from Japan with Seishiro and Genshin. I was in search for lodgings. Search of lodgings close to the hospital. Some comfortable rooms at a reasonable price.
But rents are devilishly high in that particular area.
That's right. So I decided I needed someone to share lodgings and the expense. I was fortunate enough to be introduced to Sholmes, who found himself in a similar situation.
I was a callow fellow back then. A mere shadow of the great detective you see before you now. I was working at the hospital's chemical laboratory at the time, indulging my curiosities for little gain.
And the situation of our cohabitation led to us pursuing cases together, you see. Hard to believe, it was a mere 6 years. We had a great many adventures.
But in the last year of Mikotoba's stay in Britain, that most infamous of cases presented itself. The case with which you've become rather familiar yourselves. The professor killings.
After the trial, Seishiro and I were summoned back home. Hardly surprising given the circumstances.
So, there you have it. And as you know, all the details recorded by my trusty chronicler remain in that metal chest.
Where is Iris now? She's making tea. Apparently. This is just amazing. Professor Mikotoba really is Mr. Sholmes' famous partner.
Father.
Goodness, my dear, what a cutting look.
As your daughter, I'm very proud to learn that you were the great detective's great partner. But nevertheless, there's another mystery that I really must ask you to explain now.
And that is?
You know very well what it is. The unresolved matter of Iris's father.
Ah, of course. I'd almost forgotten about that one. I should have seen this coming, I suppose.
Iris told us that all the notes about the great detective's adventures that are in that metal chest were written by her father. Isn't that correct, Mr. Sholmes?
That is indeed what I told young Iris.
But if you're Mr. Sholmes' partner, father, and you wrote all those case notes, then Iris's father must be you.
Is it not? Or is it? On my word, Mr. Seto. You are coming along wonderfully as well. Okay, it is. You too have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasped the art of deduction.
What you've always told me, father, is that my mother died when I was born 16 years ago. And you left me in grandmother's care whilst you embarked on your study tour of Britain. And I've always accepted that. But all this about Iris.
Oh, there it is. Susato-san's ice-cold stare. No, now hold on a minute. It was a very complicated... I mean, it's really not what you think.
Then perhaps you'd like to explain exactly what it is.
There it is. Now the eyes go from ice-cold to red-hot just before she... No, really, you've got the wrong end of the stick. Sholmes, say something, man. That's quite enough, my fiery fellows. Mr. Sholmes? When did he get all dressed up? Whilst I don't like to interrupt this exciting exploration of the past, Mikotoba and I have an urgent matter that requires a short excursion. Okay. Sorry. It's just funny that they called it getting all dressed up. He just put on this mask. Yes, that's it. That's the equivalent of just putting on all of the fucking gear, I guess. In this costume, that's amazing. Just the mask.
But it's very late, Mr. Sholmes. Where must you go?
Why, my dear madam, is that not obvious? My partner and I must pursue our natural enemies. So, get your coat, Mikotoba. The game is afoot. But Sholmes, I really must give Susato a full explanation, I think. Later, my dear fellow, later. Our carriage awaits downstairs already. Haven't changed one iota, have you? I mean, really, I visited our home after 10 long years. And when I open that chest in a fit of nostalgia, I quite inexplicably pass out. And as if that wasn't enough, when I eventually regain consciousness, and plunge straight into all this.
Father, please. Go with Mr. Sholmes now.
What?
I've no doubt that whatever happened, you were acting in everyone's best interests. I trust you, completely.
Susato.
And sending the great detective and his great partner off on renewed adventures together is more than I could have ever hoped for in my wildest dreams.
Very well then. We'll speak again later. So, I believe your own work is done for the day. I wish you the best of luck for tomorrow. Yes, naruhodo. Good luck in battle, and in reaching a decision. A decision? About whether to go back to Japan, I suppose.
So much happened that day that I barely knew what to do with myself. It would only be later that I'd come to realize how amidst the chaos I'd unleashed were all the clues I needed to finally unearth the truth, and that all the turmoil was necessary to give me the resolve to see everything through.
Okay. Interesting. Who was the mom? Okay, but who was the mother? Mikoto will come back here and explain shit, yeah. Damn, okay. So, I want to do something else. Because I don't want to start the last one just yet. It just doesn't feel right. So, if I do